10 doors. 10 monsters. 10 sessions of interactive data collection. With a PhD from MIT and crushing student loans, Cat Woods accepts a suspiciously well-paid job, collecting samples from creatures in an underground lab focused on STEM, sex, tech, experiments, and monsters. Cat should be terrified, so why does she keep wanting to open the next door? TW, nonstandard penetration, fluids, various, cumulative data, but crawling, bodymorpherotica, impossibly large peens, a new life. Carefully, I reach for the little frog I'm supposed to euthanize before my next test. He squirms and evades my grasp, like every other frog I've worked with. Sadly, as a xenobiologist, this is a big part of my job, even if I don't like it. I have to kill this poor bugger to get rid of him, because from a very objective point of view, all my research will never lead to anything important. Sighing, I try again to catch the slippery fellow, and then suddenly he jumps directly onto the top of my hand. I freeze for a second. He's looking at me directly, as if he understands what I'm going to do. Gently, I turn my hand. The frog wanders along my palm, always looking at me. Hey, little guy, I whisper, gently patting his tiny head. I really don't want to do this. Obviously, there's no answer other than a croak. But it sounds so pleading. I look over both my shoulders to see if anybody is watching. I'm alone. I take out a box from a cupboard, and cut some holes into the top, then put the little guy inside. I'm heading back to work after smuggling the frog out to a park a few blocks away. He happily hopped away to freedom. My phone buzzes. Unknown, last night was amazing. Can't wait to fuck you again? You're one sick chick, I tell you that. So hot. I sigh and delete the message. It was a one-night stand, but the guy didn't understand. I'm not into relationships, or even friends with benefits. At this point I'm starting to think I might be asexual. Don't get me wrong, I'm very interested in sex, but I never feel any pleasure doing it. Last night was no exception. I keep looking for a guy who can fill me up for real. But I keep falling asleep still hungry. The only orgasms I've ever had have been from my own hands. At lunch, my fellow xenobiologists won't shut up about all their great success with their own latest experiments. What about you, Catherine? Had any big breakthroughs lately? Asks Sam. No, I say. It feels like I'm not going anywhere. Well, maybe you're just not catching management's attention, says Jasmine. Unlike Rachel. She was a striking beauty, and she got so much attention, it won her some super secret promotion down in the lower levels for the real work. I guess she took the job, because she never returned. What's on the lower levels? I ask. Nobody knows. But apparently, the big bosses are really putting their money into those projects. At the end of the day, my heels echo through the empty halls as I go to leave. I flinch when I hear a booming voice behind me. Miss Woods. I turn and see a security guy, wearing sunglasses and an earpiece. Mr. Sire wants to talk to you. Mr. Sire? What kind of stupid name is that? I nod and follow him to the elevator. We start descending, and I feel a jolt of excitement. Looks like I'll get to see those lower levels Jasmine mentioned. Then excitement turns to dread. Why me? Why now? Am I in trouble? So who is Mr. Sire? I quietly ask. The security guy looks at me in confusion. Your boss, he replies. I widen my eyes. I have never heard of any Mr. Sire, and he's certainly not my boss. My boss is Mr. Rudens. But maybe Mr. Sire is Mr. Rudens' boss. I don't say another thing until we reach the lowest floor. Very, very far below ground level. The doors slide open onto utter blackness. I'm starting to panic, and I try to stay in the elevator, but the security guy grabs me by the arm. I'm not even walking anymore, he just pulls me along until we reach an ominous door. This whole floor is just one corridor, completely black, leading to one door. Go inside, the guy barks. I nod, take a deep breath, and knock. Come in, calls a soft voice from behind the door. I open it, go inside, and see nothing. My eyes need a moment to adjust to the dark lighting. I make out a single window at the back of the room, or, wait. No, that's not a real window. It's a TV screen, projecting a fake view of a starry sky. In front of the window stands a man, very tall, easily 3 heads taller than I am, facing away from me. I am Mr. Sire. You will not have heard of me, but I am the owner of this facility, he says, before fully turning around. He's lean but muscular, and very handsome. His features are sharp, but his gentle, dark blue eyes gaze at me soft and warm. I can't tell in this low light, but his hair is either black or a very dark brown. Have I done something wrong? I ask as I sit. He smiles and sits down. On the contrary. I have been observing your work, and I am very pleased. We have many xenobiologists here, but none have quite the same inquisitiveness as you. I've seen you go above and beyond to learn about your test subjects. But you also treat them with kindness, and, I would say pity. More like compassion, I correct. He nods, seeming satisfied. I have an offer for you. You will work down here, he says, pointing to a door behind him I didn't even notice before. You will have your own laboratory, your own funds, and your own schedule. You will earn twice your salary. You'll have access to the best healthcare, all paid for by the company. You will even be able to live in this estate if you choose, for free, with servants obeying your every wish. I blink a couple of times. Are you mocking me? He raises his eyebrows. I can triple your salary. Okay, quadruple. Last offer. That's more than enough. But why? Is it dangerous? Your job has always been dangerous, Miss Woods. A simple sting or a bite and you'd be done for. You didn't seem bothered before. What's changed now? With an offer like this, there must be a catch. Oh, that? He waves his hand. There is a series of physical tests and some questions that might be uncomfortable. You can decline. He leans closer. But I have a feeling you won't. His laugh is warm. I should feel wary, but his voice and eyes make me trust him. Okay then. He helps me up, his skin cold. I miss the contact when he lets go. Through here. He presses his hand flat against a door, and it swings open. I walk through and the door closes behind me and vanishes, leaving only a blank white wall. What the? I turn and see a long, white corridor with many doors on both sides. I go to the first door on my right and try the handle, but it won't budge. There's a gap at the top to look through, but I can't reach it. It's way too high. Was this made for giants? I gasp when I hear a sudden bang from behind one of the other doors. Glad that's locked. I keep walking down the hall to the very end. A sign above this final door says, Clinic, so I knock and walk in. A young man in a white lab coat is sitting at a computer. He smiles. You must be Kat. I'm Richard. He stands, very tall. I need to run the physical exam, but first I have questions. The room smells of antiseptic. I hop onto the cot. Close family? No. My parents died, no siblings. Good. Any close personal relationships? Best friends, romantic relationships? Neither. Very well. Physical illnesses? No. Have you had sexual intercourse before? I frown. He explains, some xenobiotics might smell certain pheromones, which could impact your work. I need an answer. Yes. He marks something. Sexual preferences. Open, I guess. Sexual limits, he asks. I hesitate, my mind blank. He waits pen poised.